Welcome to the kitchen, fire and dough. Let's make magic when the orders flow. First step, measure that perfect crust. A golden base in you we trust. Spread the sauce like painting skies. Tomato dreams right before your eyes. Don't forget those edges spread for gold. A flavor story that's been told. Cheese in handfuls, layer those dreams. Mozzarella rivers flow like streams. Two good handfuls, that's the way. Covers the pizza, sets the stage. Pepperoni circles red and neat. Top it perfect, can't be beat. From edge to edge, no space inside. Flavor harmony all set to light. Watch that oven hot and bright. 10 minutes till it's done just right. Look for bubbles, crispy sheen. Perfect pizza, what a scene. Carefully now cut those slices fair. Each piece, perfection, show you care. Box it up with a smile that's wide. Customer joy you can't hide. Hide! Cheese in handfuls, layer those dreams. Mozzarella rivers flow like streams. Two good handfuls, that's the way. Covers the pizza, sets the stage. Pepperoni circles red and neat. Top it perfect, can't be beat. From edge to edge, no space inside. Flavor harmony all set to light. Watch that oven hot and bright. 10 minutes till it's done just right. Look for bubbles, crispy sheen. Perfect pizza, what a scene. Carefully now cut those slices fair. Each piece, perfection, show you care. Box it up with a smile that's wide. Customer joy you can't hide.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. You know, we're back at it. Let me introduce you to my co-host and producer over there off camera, as usual. Krista's here.
Hi.
So here we are. Let's address some things first. Number one, thank you, Ryan Maxwell, for providing not only the commercials that were, aired 33 years ago today.
Wow.
Ooh, as of recording, but also the Pizza Hut training video. I feel like I've either had this on a watch later list or something. I don't know if we've ever done it. I'm pretty sure we haven't done it. It's from 1988. Pizza Hut, known how Pizza's the Hut. What is happening? Rachel, Ryan, Brick, Matt. Welcome, everybody.
The Krista Cam only comes on when I'm not lazy.
Yeah, and I moved the tripod, so.
Also that.
But I want to complain about something very quickly, and this is like a perfect platform to do it, right? Like a nostalgia-related sort of thing. I'm so tired of seeing posts on social media where, like, okay, here's an example, right? Like, this is something old. So, like, if I took a picture of this and I go, if you know what this is, or if you ever held this, your knees hurt. I don't know why I always hear it in a southern accent.
Your knees hurt.
Because it makes me feel vindicated in my hatred of these people, because it's so annoying. Like a Discman, right? A Sony Discman. I'll see that come across Facebook or Instagram or wherever I'm at, and I go, hey, if you remember this, look, you probably take Excedrin for aches and pains. Like, to all my millennial, there's some people are just going to be lame. Let me put it this way. Some people are just going to be lame, and you can't help those people. But, like, if you can, by any means, stop doing that shit. If you are doing it, or if you do it occasionally, if you laugh at that sort of thing, don't encourage those people. Like, I don't want. It's going to happen, obviously, but, like, Gen Xers are already on their way, and millennials, now we're, like, on our way to just being, like, lame-ass boomers. Yeah, CDs. Time passes. I'm so tired. Get over it, everybody. That's why we go back and watch old stuff. We can sort of live, but then we get to go back to being adults. I don't know. It just makes me
And then we
annoyed.
go take our Advil for our aches and pains, and then we go watch
annoying.
commercials.
Whatever. Like, I don't know. It just feels like everyone my age or like 10 years above are now so old, and I don't feel or want to act like that. I don't want to like look at a picture of like an Xbox One, like the original Xbox, like modem. Like someone takes a picture of it and they go, oh, like I sneezed and my ass fell out. Or whatever. Like, oh my God, get over it. Like, either treat your body better or stop finding old things. Like, when I find them, I go, oh, cool. I don't go, my aching back.
In my day.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just feels like comedy died a slow death, and now all we have are these fucking lamos on social media being like, hey, like, it feels like all the comedy is either like some obnoxious political thing or some obnoxious age-based thing where you go like, don't you feel old? Like, people in their 30s are complaining to me like, I feel old. I'm gonna go, shut the fuck up. I'm 10 years older than you, if that's the case. And I don't feel old. Like, I don't wake up with aches and pains, typically. Like, sometimes we'll do something crazy, and then I'll wake up, not forgetful, but regretful the next day. And you go, well, so what? I remember doing that shit when I was a kid.
Rachel likes how you start out angry.
It's just something that's been up my ass for a little while,
Yeah.
and it feels like it's coming all the goddamn time.
He's brought it up a few times off air.
I can't.
And I'm like,
In my day, we had Commodore 64s. Let me get my hemorrhoid cream. Exactly, Brick. Like, here's the thing. I get that you, like, I don't know. It just feels like, to me, you're tipping your hand. You're like, hey, I remember when we didn't have things as easy, so I guess cool, high five to everyone who, like, lived through pre-high-speed internet. But, like, you just want to admit that you just, like, treated yourself like shit, and now you're falling apart at 40? Like, I feel fine. I feel fine.
Opening the show with back in my day as we go and watch nostalgic commercials and old Pizza Hut training.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not saying back in my day, because back in my day I had all that shit. I'm just not looking back at it now that I'm in my 40s going like, like, I
Where's
still
my
enjoy
walker?
this shit. I'm not like, oh, you guys, I don't turn into like the fucking both ways to school uphill in the snow bullshit, right? Like, even though it's not like that, it's meme
It's
status.
what it's become.
It's the same goddamn thing. Pull your heads out of your asses. If you're doing it, if you're not, then I'm sorry.
Then don't start.
And don't start. But so let me get this pulled in. We've got, now, there's a little disclaimer up front that I want to guys warn you about. So if you rat on me, I'll totally know it was you. This is highly confidential trade secrets that Pizza Hut somehow leaked onto YouTube. So I don't want you guys telling anyone about this. All right, so here we go.
Stop announcing that you're old.
Yeah, so also, stop announcing that you're old. Also, P.S., what was I going to say? Something about this. So yeah, we're at Pizza Hut training, yada, yada, yada. Let's go. There you go. Consists of trade secrets. Here's the thing. Type a 1 in the chat when you think a secret has been revealed. I bet we have no ones.
TikTok videos won't replace my VHS tapes.
Not in my heart, at least. Bye. I got my personal pan pizza, 4 slices of pepperoni per corporate orders.
The making of a pizza.
Finally, like, I'm glad we're getting right into the meat of it. You guys ever read a book where it takes like 18 chapters to like introduce the characters and the setting and the pretense?
Yep.
Sometimes you just want to jump right into the meat of the shit, and here we are.
Okay, Julie, are you all ready to learn how to make a pizza the
No.
right way?
Making it great. Yes, I'm.
I've been making it great. Oh my God, how cringe. Cringe, guys. That was so cringe. Making it great. These people also look like they work at Carl's Jr. in the 70s and or Wendy's in the 80s.
ready. Are we going to cook
One
pizzas
bumpy
now?
red
Well,
plastic
there's a lot
glass of
more to
Pepsi,
it than
please.
just cooking. In fact, that's probably the easiest part. But let's start this process at the beginning.
Let's down. Whoa, before she started stubbing her toe,
yeah,
she was
pre-toe.
cheesing pizzas.
Pre-toe injuries.
First of all, are your hands washed?
Sure are.
Good, mine too. All right,
Now we don't have to waste precious screen time on that.
Yeah.
I'm already in love with the economy of time in this video. We're already into making pizza. She said making it great. Hands already washed? Like, this may be the most competent video we've ever experienced.
let's say in order for
Oh,
a
is it
pizza
gonna be a
comes
real
in.
place or a
You'll
set?
read it and you'll get started on the pizza making process right away. You have to act fast.
I don't
Just
know.
think. This
It looks so clean, it's got to be a set.
Yeah, and the fact that there's nobody else
just
around.
Any generic pizza place could, or not any generic pizza place, but any pizza place could roll into that generic kitchen. Because like, how often do you need like a pizza oven in other? And like big Pizza Hut's gonna be like, yeah, let's shoot in one of our shitty kitchens. You ever been in this kitchen of a Pizza Hut, guys?
The sooner you get that pizza in the oven, the sooner our customers will be biting into it and tasting how delicious it
And
is.
they'll have me to thank.
That's right.
Oh, thanks,
Because
lady.
Nice. Serve the first slice, right, guys? I'm not gonna play that Mr. Show sketch again, so it'll get me copyright, but copywritten, copy strick, whatever.
Give
we're
it
not just
time,
making
Brian.
pizza. We're creating an experience for our customers. Think
Do you think this is like, it's now giving like sense to you guys and planted the suggestion, you perverts? It feels very like Xena Gabrielle of Pizza Hut.
of it as making pizza that makes customers happy.
Making it
I
great.
like that.
I
Our
love that.
customers expect the same high quality product and service every time they come to a Pizza Hut. And that's true whether
Pizzina, warrior princess.
it's a busy Friday evening or a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Our job is to make sure they're never disappointed.
I won't let them down.
Okay,
Never again, anyway. You see the size of her name tag? It's like the size of a dollar bill.
let's say the first order we get is for a medium pan pizza with pepperoni and green pepper. This
Guess what we're gonna do? You have 3 guesses, and then you're fired.
is it's where we keep the proof dough until we're ready to use it.
They cut
So we
out the
take
secret.
out a medium pan
Oh yeah, they couldn't say refrigerator,
No.
prepared by our dough master.
aka the guy who delivers it on the truck. Which, by the way, don't trust any vendor who comes off
Oh, yeah.
the truck. Keep your eye on them. We learned that, right?
And one
Jameson?
vendor at a time. Check the dough
And we-
Yeah,
quality.
make sure they're not stealing beers out of the case.
Check it for quality. Now
Looks
this one
like
looks
dough.
good. See, if the dough weren't right, if it was stuck to the separator, or it was too flat, or it had air bubbles in it, then the finished pizza wouldn't be right.
Don't touch
and our
it to try and
customers wouldn't
flatten
get the
those
best
bumps.
possible product.
Which they deserve every time they visit Pizza Hut.
Right.
Oh my God! Get off, like Gabrielle, back off of Zena's nuts for just a second. Jesus!
Lick it for quality.
Yeah, once you heat it above 160 degrees, all the germs will be killed.
Yeah, so
Right?
just
So
lick it now.
Anything you do before is totally fine as long as it gets to that 160 mark.
So if the dough isn't exactly right, we throw it out and we get another one that is. Now, pan pizza is easy to top. First, we start with the sauce, and you
Nice.
get the right amount from the spec chart. We go to this chart that says bottom, sauce, and cheese. And we go down to where it says sauce, and we see that a small gets 1 level spoon, a medium gets 2 spoons, and a large gets 3 spoons.
You had to make a chart for this?
Yep. Yep. That's
You
their
couldn't
trade
just, like,
secrets.
there's no, those like fucking, maybe this is showing my age again, old man Dave. But, social media is also marketing those like end of the world books where it teaches you how to like make fire and go fishing or whatever. And it's like always an old dude selling it and all the commercials I see. And even on YouTube. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
It's like if the internet ever goes down, like technology as a whole just like is taken out by EMP. We won't have to like live in the dark ages when it comes to pizza and the ladling of that sauce.
So, what do we do?
Ryan rented
2
bottom
spoons?
sauce and
Right.
cheese ones. 4
Now, we keep
stars.
our
Are we
sauce
4
right
out of
here
5 or
with
4
our
out of
other
10?
Refrigerated items. We keep this lid closed, except for when we're making a pizza. First, spread the
Ta-da.
sauce to within 1/4 to a
Of your life.
half inch of the edge. Now, for a medium pan pizza, 2 spoons equals 5 ounces. Be sure not
That's
to
like a
pour
glass
the
of
sauce
wine,
onto
guys.
the center of the dough.
Don't you dare sauce the center of that dough. Or by God,
And don't press down with the spoon, because that could cause the pizza to be undercooked.
it'll also
It seems
fart.
easy enough.
It is. Just be sure to do it exactly this way every time.
Do
Any
not
variance
change
wouldn't
your
be making
spoon
it great.
habit.
Now, on our pizzas, we use 2 layers of cheese. The bottom cheese,
And the making it great layer. God, how many times have they said making it great at this point? Like, start taking a drink every time you hear making it great.
Top cheese, right?
right. Since we measure the cheese, we'll just calibrate the scale with this bowl on it. Just put a clean bowl on the scale, zero it out, and then you're ready to go. That way, we can leave the bowl on the scale and only measure what's in it.
That makes
Forever. Like, we don't want to, like, charge them for the weight of the bowl.
God forbid.
sense. Now, we'll put some cheese in the bowl, and we'll measure it
sprinkle.
out to the proper
Bare
weight
ass
according to the
hands.
spec chart.
They wash
Let's see.
them.
Bottom cheese, medium pizza.
Good. Now we'll measure out
Fat bottom pizzas. They make the rock and roll go round. Okay?
the exact amount.
There we go. Look at all that. It's luxury. Look at how luxurious cheese.
And
Oh my
place the
God.
cheese on top of the sauce. Again, starting at the outside.
You better believe it was making it great, Rachel. If you haven't seen it yet, check out a VHS copy of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie. And what you'll see is a very, cathartic experience for yours truly. But they make it great. They're always making it great. Or at least in the 80s and 90s, they were making it great. Now it's no one out Pizza's the Hut. It's like, God damn it.
And working toward the center.
That doesn't look too hard.
It's
not.
not.
Quit saying that. It's pizza.
We
Just
don't need
remember to
gloves. We
spread
can
the
use
cheese
soap.
evenly and try not to go beyond the sauce, because that would burn and look bad.
We wouldn't want that.
Now, this order is for a medium pan pizza with
With pepperoni and green peppers, right? I get it.
pepperoni and green pepper. So what do we put on first?
I don't know. Oh, I look on the spec chart, right?
Right.
I'm panicking. It's alphabetical unless the meat is heavier than the vegetables by volume, in which case you look to chart C, match up the digit and the number, and there you go.
Let's see. Medium pizza, pepperoni. 2 columns, single and multiple. Which do I look under?
Well, the
Guess how many 2 ingredients are? Are they a single ingredient or are they multiple ingredients? Gabrielle.
single column is for single topping pizzas like a medium pepperoni pizza.
Whoa.
And the multiple column is for pizzas with multiple ingredients, like the one we're making.
Okay, let's see. Here it is. I'll let you do this part. What does that mean?
Here, I'll show you. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, let's please count how many pepperonis you put.
I worked at my first job, I worked at an indoor amusement park for children and made it to manager very quickly, which is why I kept the job. but we had a Pizza Hut. Not a fucking thing like this was followed. Like, nowhere near, right? Like, the dude who did the pizza never said a word to anybody, but they always came out, like, basically the same. But no one was back there being like, how many pepperonis are you using? Like, if that's like the type of power that an HOA member thirsts for.
There. Notice how I started at the outside and worked my way towards the center.
You got a point there, Rachel. Like, once you have, I mean, they said pizza twice. What else?
Pizza.
I don't know. Making it great though, it felt right for the time, like in the 80s.
Yeah. Now it just reminds me too much of Trump.
It reminds me of Spaceballs. No one out pizzas the Hut. Pizza the Hut. Lone Star. Hello.
Placing the pepperoni evenly.
Got it. Green peppers next?
Yes? Did you look at the spec chart?
Uh-huh.
No.
Do I measure into here?
Yes.
Shit. The same bowl that we just put the cheese in? You're fired.
I'm glad they chose not to score this
Now what?
part.
Good. Now, place the green pepper on the pizza, starting at the outside and working your way towards the center. Just like
And don't worry, we'll never have a rush. So you'll never have to go any faster than this.
Nope.
Slowly counting, checking charts, doing mental math. Just, take her easy.
I did with the sauce and the cheese and the pepperoni. That's good. Place them as evenly as you can.
Jameson knows what I'm talking about.
That's good. We're always careful to avoid center loading the topping because it could cause the pizza.
I did hear that, Ryan. I like if you like this sort of stuff and like company sort of thing, like the Company Man puts out a decent amount of this sort of stuff, and I think like Weird Foods, or there's another one that does like restaurants and stuff like that. But yeah, it's an interesting story. They had room for 3 letters. It was like, well, you're not gonna call it Pizza Bin. You're not gonna call it Pizza like what, Tap?
Pizza box.
To be undercooked in the middle.
Oh, you're
I
a
wouldn't
pizza
want that
box?
if it was my pizza.
Making it box.
What's next?
Well, there are 2 more ingredients.
What could
The top
possibly go
cheese
next? Oh,
and the world famous fairy dust.
Whoa, fairy dust.
That's right.
Coke.
Pizza Hut fairy dust. It's just a little magic ingredient that we have for making
monosodium glutamate. Ever heard of it? A lot of people say it's bad, but we at Pizza Hut, we think it's makes our pizza taste like food.
it great.
Okay.
You'll see. All right, for the top cheese, how much do we need?
Well, let's see. Here it is. Can I do it?
5.
Sure.
5 sprigs.
5 strands of cheese.
And you gotta like haul this bulky thing down the whole. Like, it's a 1/4 mile trek to make a pizza, and you gotta like drag essentially like a pit crew with you. Oh, I was like, what are these on the wall? It looked like decorations and like barbed wire, like they're in a Bill Johnson's Big Apple or some shit.
Okay. I spread the cheese over the top of everything else, but not on the edge of the pizza.
Right.
This isn't so hard. It's not!
How's that?
That's good.
It's okay.
Now we'll just make sure it's perfect. And now it's time for
I made
the
it
fairy
perfect.
dust. This amazing substance is fairy dust. And it magically transforms our ingredients into the perfect Pizza Hut pizza.
Come on.
Okay. Actually, it's a careful blend of cheese and spice. But it really does give our pizzas that extra delicious touch. And we're very careful about the number of shakes we use. You can check the spec chart for the right amount.
Well, better check the shake chart. How many shakes per medium pizza with 2 toppings?
Really do call it fairy dust.
17.
That's right. And now, you see what a delicious and perfect Pizza Hut pan pizza looks like before it goes into the oven.
Cringe. I want to see a thin crust in this bitch.
Now, we just put it here on the conveyor. Notice how the pizza starts completely outside of the oven. It'll be done
We
in just a
haven't
few
pushed it
minutes.
in yet.
These ovens are calibrated to perfectly cook a pizza as it travels through the oven. Now, while we're waiting for that to cook, why don't we talk about some of the other products you'll be making?
Great.
First of all,
Thin and
there's thin
crispy.
and crispy pizza.
Finally.
Thin and crispy pizza is the
Just
original
wanna
Pizza
buy a
Hut
bag of
pizza.
fairy dust?
Of course,
That's
it's
good
been
shit.
fine-tuned over.
Like, oh God, this is so, I don't know, man. The, I appreciate the like I started in love with this video, and now I'm just like, oh my god! Like the things that I used to like are now grating like on my last nerve.
Over the years, all part of making it great. Now, as far as making the pizza goes, the main difference between thin and crispy pizza and pan pizza is the dough preparation.
One's thicker and comes in a pan. The other one, if you can believe it, isn't.
Pan pizza dough is portioned in pans and kept under refrigeration, but thin and crispy pizza crusts are made to order. Now, pan pizza proofs individually in the pans, but thin and crispy pizza dough rises in this container. Whenever you get an order for thin and crispy pizza, you have to prepare the crust. The only exception is during rush times, we might prep a few thin and crispy pizza shells in advance so that we can get them in the oven quickly.
Because our customers count on us to make it fast.
Shut up,
Right,
Brenda.
and I'll show you how.
They really count on us. Like, I don't know, man. That seems a little grandiose. Like, whenever I've walked into any restaurant, I don't care how much if it's fast or slow, if it's expensive or not. I don't know if I'm just like, I count on you guys. Like, I'd grab the waitress by the shoulder and be like,
Counting
any
on
nice
you.
tea with lemon. I'm counting on you.
How? Now, do you remember the safety procedures you learned about the dough roller?
Oh, step employee, I'm stuck in the dough proofer. Oh, here we go, Ryan.
Sure do.
Good, because we're going to be putting them into practice right
Brenda
now.
gives us-
First of all, you have to check the calibration of the dough roller to make sure that it delivers the proper dough weight. So you estimate about 3 ounces more than the finished dough. It's right here on the dough weight
Oh,
chart.
boy.
God, all these
So you
charts.
pull out a chunk that you estimate is 3 ounces more than the weight on the spec chart. You'll get used to making
Why don't you just put the actual amount on the spec chart? If it's not the spec chart, what is it?
these estimates, but
It's like when you set your watch ahead 10 minutes early, so you'll like be early places, but you know because you set it 10 minutes early, so you just constantly go, I got
10 minutes.
now we'll weigh the dough out. You form the dough into a flat circular patty by turning the dough around in your hands and folding the outside edge under. Then you flatten the patty to about 1 inch high by pressing down on top of it.
Oh, I forgot to
Then
spray
you
the
drop it
pan
into
first.
the top chute on the dough roller. Keep your fingers away from the chute
Ah!
and catch it as it comes out. Then you turn it sideways and put it into the lower roller. Make sure that it goes into there evenly.
Got it.
All right, as it comes out, you catch it on the back of your hands, being careful not to pull it or stretch it. That would cause thin spots or tearing, and we'd have
For the love of God, don't start throwing it around like you've seen on the TV. This is not like that. Let the machine do the work, Brenda.
to start all over. Then you place the dough evenly in the pan and press it into place, making sure that there are no air bubbles. Next, you trim
Yeah, she should have been like this. Should have been like that that X-Files episode where the little girl has mind powers and slips that lady's hair into the ice cream machine. She's like, ah! We should have seen Brenda go through there and come out like an accordion on the other side.
Worst prawn
trim
ever.
off the excess dough with the dough trimmer. We keep the scraps separate from the rest
Thin
of the
spots
dough
was
so
your
it can
nickname in high
rejuvenate. We can use the excess dough to make more
I had a lot of friction downstairs. It eats through material very quickly.
pizzas after it's been in the separate bucket for 2 hours. Now we'd weigh the first shell to make sure the dough roller was set right.
But you're ruining
You
it.
see, if it was
Oh.
set too thick or too thin, the weight would be off. And that's why we make a test shell. We can adjust the dough roller so that the next one is right on target.
Why should it be different every
Yeah,
time?
hypothetically, since you're making the fucking pizza, it should be like a set it and forget it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, all our pizza should be 1/4 inch thick or whatever. Oh, we have to recalibrate? What's happening? Was there an
Okay.
earthquake?
Pre-pan thin and crispy pizza dough should look just like this. It should reach all the way to the edge, no air bubbles, no holes, and no cracks. If it doesn't look just right, we have to throw it away and start over.
Check.
But this one looks just right. You ready to give it a try?
They used
Sure.
to do this and then realized how
Now,
much
if
dough
we
they
were
were going through.
pre-rolling thin and crispy pizza crusts for a rush, that's a busy time, like dinner, then we would put a separator in between each one, and we would mark the separator with the time that we did it. Pre-rolled thin and crispy pizza crusts are only good for 30 minutes, because after that, they start to dry out. So we throw away any pre-pan dough that we don't use right away.
We'd really throw it away?
You bet. If it's
Especially so like you're stocking your employees with essentially like 16 to 8-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 16 to 18-year-olds, I imagine, and then your drivers probably be a little older. Just like, I remember being 16 to 18. I didn't give a fuck about shit like that. Like, they must have just been like, I never worked inside an actual Pizza Hut. Like, there was a small one inside of the play place. But, like, there must be just countless people, like, rolling dough up into, like, a basketball and, like, fucking around and making like, footballs and stuff out of it. Like, and you know, if you've ever worked fast food, you know that all those time limits are like, oh, if this has been sitting here for this long, it's got to go. No.
It's over 30 minutes old. Also, we use the first ones we made before the last ones.
Oh,
we call
really?
this
Oh, shit, Xena.
our first in, first out procedure. That way, the customers never get anything less than the best.
Let me tell you about our don't ask, don't tell procedure.
But say we were going to use this dough right away, then we would perforate it.
Perforate it?
Right, with this perforator.
Oh.
We only perforate the bottom of the dough, not the sides.
Use the chart
So you
to see
make
how many
one firm
perforations you
pass
need.
over the surface of the dough, and then one right up the middle. That prevents bubbles, and then you're done.
And how do we do toppings for thin and crispy pizza?
Exactly.
We use our hands. What? Like, check the fucking chart. Like, the thinner the dough, what? Like, what? How do we put toppings on it?
The same way you did for a pan pizza. There's no difference in toppings for a pan pizza and a thin and crispy pizza, except that you go right to the edge with your sauce and cheese and toppings. We don't leave a half-inch border.
Like we did when we topped the pan pizza.
Right. Which, by the way, is out of the oven. Come on, I'll show you how to take it out.
Fell on
and
the
serve it.
floor.
We always use a pan gripper, and we always wait till the pizza is completely out of the oven
Yeah, what
before
about
we
the other two
remove it.
Powerpuff Girls?
You see, we wouldn't want the pizza to be undercooked. Anyway, when any pizza is completely out of the oven, to the last.
Right, these people are like, to speak to Rachel's point, these people feel like invasion of the body snatchers, like they're trying to just like teach other aliens how to be humans and like work at human jobs.
last inch, we check it for quality. It has to look great, or
that's
it doesn't go
quality.
to the customers.
This one looks great to me.
Let's
It
eat
does.
it, Xena.
My mouth's watering. Call me Garfield, because now I want lasagna.
It's completely cooked. All pan pizzas should be golden
Brooke's
brown, and the
nickname was
cheese should be
Bubbles.
thoroughly melted. See? Just like on the cooking chart.
Did we ever have to calibrate the oven? And look, she's going to drop it right into the trash.
If it doesn't look great, we
Fuck
start
you.
over. All our pizzas stage or
But what about our customers who are counting on us to deliver their pizza in one turn of the oven?
set for 30 seconds before cutting.
Counting on us.
We'll use this cutting board. And this rocker knife. Be sure to hold it like this and cut all the way through the crust. This
you
is a
show it to
medium
the
pizza, so
people
it gets
watching?
cut
There we
into
go.
8 slices. A small gets cut into 6, and a large gets cut into 12. Now, if it's a carryout, you have to use
You know, not for nothing. I would love to own one of those big pizza blades recreationally. I make a fair amount of pizza. And, you know, the roller pizza cutters, you know, whatever, the kitsch value is there, the nostalgia, like, but it's a real fucking pain in the ass because, like, when you're doing it, it doesn't take much for it to act like a skateboard tire, right? Like, you're cutting through the pizza and it hits an unnecessarily thick pepper or pepperoni or pineapple or olive, and then you're just pushing the pizza or smashing the cheese into like a big douched up corner slog. And I like,
Ryan has one.
I need to pick up one because like you would like the pizza cutter like that is like the classic, like the circular one, right? It would have to be so sharp as to be dangerous, like to handle,
Right.
for it to work, and it never does. Like you unless you want to wait until the pizza is like cool to the touch, you have to like hold it down while it's hot and like because otherwise it just goes all over the goddamn place.
use one of those boxes. Make sure to use a box support and an insert. If the pizza is going to be served here, you'll put it back in the pan and place the pan and a spatula on a cork pad in the pickup area. The server will do the rest.
No, the customer will do the rest when they bite into my delicious pizza.
Shut up, Brenda.
They'll do the rest.
She's gonna daydream right now
They're gonna
about
eat the pizza.
spreading
Delicious
pizza on
pan
Xena.
pizza and delicious thin and crispy pizza. What more
Yeah,
could
the screen goes all wobbly and they go out to the like the dining room, right? And there's like a bunch of pizza goblins, and they're fighting him in that leather armor.
The customer wants.
Personal pan pizza.
What?
I don't think it's an impossible dream, Rachel. It just didn't occur to me until like right now that like, because I keep going. There's got like I'm the classic Ronco like before customer where I'm ruining pizzas with that round pizza cutter, and I go, there's got to be a better way. Like I'm the idiot who's like can't cook eggs, so I'm like smashing them on the counter with the pan.
That's another important product you'll need to know about.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Personal pan pizza is a smaller version of our popular pan pizza, like the one we just made. It's a lunchtime favorite because it gives our customers that big pizza flavor in a lighter lunchtime size. And it's also
Set
ready
it and
fast, which is
forget it.
very important to our
Right, which is what you should do with all of these machines. Like the dough calibrator, the oven, they should all just be
The
like
scale.
the scale. Yeah, just like have it be the thing you want all the time. Does it like it's not
lunchtime
hard.
customers.
I've had that before. I bet you make a whole bunch of those every day.
We do. And that's why, depending on our prep list, we're going to be pre-topping some of them for the lunch rush.
That's a good idea. Do we make them the same way as we make the larger pan pizzas?
Almost, but there are
They're
a few
smaller.
important differences. First of all, we stamp personal pan pizza doughs after they've been proofed to give them the right shape and get them ready for topping. Also, because the topping amounts are much smaller, we use scoops to measure them. Otherwise,
So why does the dough master in this scenario, like their pan pizzas, you don't have to punch down, but their personal pan pizzas, like the yeast was obviously allowed to rise, right? Uninhibited, because if you have to smash it down to give it that crust, like where are we? Like, can't we get a uniform pizza from a dough master and machines that are just made to make pizza? Why is it like a mad scientist laboratory? You're constantly having to like weigh and measure chemicals and check charts and shit.
otherwise, it's pretty much the same.
Does anyone
But
know
we'll be going
Brenda's
over
location? I want to try her pizza.
Terrible.
personal pan pizzas in more detail later.
Sounds good. There sure is a lot to know about making it great.
I'll show you what you need to
Is
know to
there?
be a professional. For now, just keep in mind that
I'll
it's
show
your
you
job
what
to
you
make
need to
sure
know,
our
Brenda.
customers get the best quality pizza we can give them every time they're here, with no shortcuts and no compromises.
Ah, yeah. Bye.
And everything you need to know will be waiting right here to guide you.
There'll be millions of charts all over the walls. You'll need to like read your calibration manual.
Just
Look,
remember to
Rachel,
follow the
we don't need
instructions
gloves
exactly,
and we don't
you'll be
need
just
hair
fine.
nets.
It's the 80s. Hair doesn't fall out.
And so will the pizzas, right?
Right.
They got a hat.
Now, are you ready to try your hand at topping a thin and crispy pizza?
Hey, I'm not just making pizza, I'm making it great.
Oh
I knew
my
that was coming and I couldn't
God.
stop it. It was like if Indiana Jones turned around and just let the boulder hit him.
Now, let's go over the special topping procedures for hand-tossed traditional pizza.
What?
It has several unique ingredients, so there are some special ways that we make it great. Now, the dough master will have pre-portioned and panned the dough. So when you remove it from the refrigerator, just check it for quality and make sure the dough extends all the way to the bottom of the rim.
Took a little.
For saucing, you'll spread on some of our special hand-tossed traditional pizza sauce
Drink
to
every time
between
Brenda
the first
says it.
and second perforation marks from the outer edge. Be sure that you don't go beyond that outer perforation mark. Then you'll distribute the bottom cheese out to
Wait, I'm confused, Zena. So our hand-tossed pizzas aren't hand-tossed at all, but prepared exactly like all the other doughs by the dough master? Uh-huh. Why do we say it's something different? Shut up.
that
Pepper
same
steak
line.
pizza. Fix
Then
a
the
little bit.
toppings go on to within half an inch of the edge. Now, when you
Just getting back from the hut. Pizza food.
distribute the top cheese, be sure once again that you don't go beyond that outer perforation line. And make sure that the cheese and toppings completely cover the sauce. As always, avoid center loading. Then you'll clean up the outside edges and shake on the proper amount of fairy dust, just like we do with pan pizza and thin and crispy pizza. Don't worry, all of these instructions are included on the station guides.
Oh boy.
Thank God. Because, like, what if you get to that personal pan pizza and you go, I don't know how to top this.
And the job aids near the make table will give you the proper ingredient amounts. That's all there is to it.
That's it.
That pizza will give them a reason to come back.
There's
That
one
pizza will give them diarrhea. Who's out there, Brenda? Like, I don't hear any customers in the lobby. There's no music playing overhead. Like, this is a Pizza Hut run by These two.
Yeah, that's it.
One more product you need to know about.
And the customers are just out there waiting for like 20 minutes at a time to be like, it was pepperoni and
Green pepper.
green peppers. Did you guys forget what order the
They threw it
ingredients
out.
go in?
Priazzo. That's a rich double crust Italian pie,
Ooh,
and
mamma
customers
mia.
can choose from a variety of delicious fillings.
Yeah, you can't hear the Pac-Man machine. You can't hear the Ninja Turtles arcade. You can't hear T2, depending on the year. This is 88, so you probably can't hear that anyway.
Sounds delicious. Do we make it the same way as we make pizza?
Sort
Making it great, if you will.
of. When we make Priazzo, we use 2 layers of dough. First, we fill the bottom dough with hand-tossed traditional sauce and or filling according to the order.
This might be an obscure reference, but does their Piazza pizza give anybody the same vibes as like the Taco Bell Enchilito? Type of one in the chat.
Then we add the triple cheese blend, according to the spec chart. Then we roll, perforate, and layer on the top dough.
Thank you, Ryan.
I'm perforating.
And we top that dough with the proper sauce using a personal pan pizza spoon. We add more cheese blend and top that with fairy dust.
Do we cook it the same way as we cook pizza?
Well,
Hell
we use one of
no.
these heat pins to make sure all the ingredients are completely cooked. The heat pin helps make sure the heat is evenly
There you go,
distributed.
that's what that
but
is.
otherwise, the cooking procedure is the same.
That's
Looks like barbed
Squish.
wire, the kind
Yeah.
of thing that people boast. Like barbed wire and Cindy Crawford came from the same place, I think.
some pie.
Mamma mia! So you put in the crown of thorns and it cooks your pizza.
A pizza pie.
Perfectamundo. So there you go. Now you guys know
Gabagool.
how to make a perfect pizza, given you have the following stipulations. One of those giant-ass expensive pizza ovens and a dough master. I know you have neither of those, so good luck. That being said, we're rolling right into it. This is a series of commercials from January 15th, 1991.
Wow.
Which, you know, I already had my rant about it. We're probably going to see some things that'll make your back hurt. If you feel that way, keep it to yourself. If not only for like your self-respect, for my sanity. So let's just roll it.
I hope we see an Anderson
pyramid.
commercial.
I hope we see something about pagers. My back hurts.
All other game shows look square.
Like the Hollywood squares. That was a shot across their bows.
Oh.
If you're tired
Oh,
of
look at that mom fucking flat ass and those Dockers.
hunting for your vacuum cleaner's attachments, get the
Rare flamingo.
new Dirt Devil Upright. It's lightweight, easy to use, and all the
For
attachments
when all your kids leave handfuls of Chex Mix all over the sofa. What are your kids doing? Is that your husband doing it?
are built right
Ryan
into
says,
the
speak for
vacuum.
yourself.
So
I
you
have
can
a
clean-
dough master, and he's fantastic.
You know, God bless you then, Ryan. If you have a dough master, you might not have that $14,000 pizza oven. If you got them both, then why aren't you pizzaing the hut? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
and edge to edge without
Edgelord
stopping to
vacuum.
find a thing. And because it's a Dirt Devil, it's packed with plenty of cleaning
Get the hell
power.
outta here.
So stop hunting for your attachments. Get the new Dirt Devil Upright, the all-in-one cleaner that cleans it all.
For only $2.99 a minute, you can talk to a psychic consultant
Oh,
who will
God.
advise you of what the future has in store for you.
Nice.
Before I called the American
It
Psychic,
looked like that psychic was on the Starship Enterprise. She was like right next to Captain Picard's office. Like she's like, "Oh, hey, Guinan, I gotta go to do some psychic readings up here." Ugh, if you wear a scarf like that, it wouldn't surprise me if you're paying $2.99 a minute to talk to a psychic.
line, I wasn't sure of a lot of my own decisions. But now, when I call
For
like this
amusement
shirt.
only, by the way. You see that disclaimer?
900-646-1234, I can speak with my own personal psychic advisor.
Oh, Ryan, my neck. Ah!
A computer or some pre-recorded message.
Discover how convenient it is to get answers to the important questions you have. You must be 18 or older to utilize this amazing service. Don't delay.
Don't
Don't
delay.
use other countries' inferior psychic hotlines. Call the American psychic hotline. They say, you know, other companies, they farm that out to India, and you're just hearing like goats and bells in the background.
Psychic advisor is waiting for you now.
I had knocked my left mirror off and my right mirror, and they cost $100 a piece. And I thought that was just about enough. I was going to
I
go
have
and see
cat
the doctor.
racks. Remember
When
that
Howard
cataract
called us
commercial?
about our cataract
guys?
removal program,
Anybody?
we told him we accept Medicare so he could enjoy clear vision again.
We lied to him. He was on the hook for $14,000.
Because we offer free transportation, Howard could leave the driving to us.
Call 681-8.
Oh, look at his big wife. It's just Rodney Dangerfield in a wig.
505 at the Cataract and Laser Institute, the health of your
Guys, in 1995, I was 12 years old.
eyes always comes first.
I was
Let's not think about that.
in 95? I thought this was 91.
This is, but Brick brought up the year 1995, so I'm just, going with it. I realize this is 1991, but Brick brought up 1995. I assume he has some sort of
I was
deep
7.
connection. Personally, I'd go like 94, my favorite 90s, but, Milton Berle.
Milton Berle.
An accident often happens when you least expect it.
It's Chris Farley's dad.
We're a law firm that helps accident
DeMay,
victims.
Donnelly,
If
and
you've been hurt,
Todd.
Give
No
us
thanks.
a call. We can't stop accidents from happening, but we can help you.
That's the guy who hit Stephen King. You just happen to look a lot like him.
May Donnelly and Todd help
I
accident
don't
victims.
think so, Brick. This is from 1991.
833-2900. They're in your corner.
Do you have any idea how fast you're eating? What, my macaroni and cheese? Pick it, it's Kraft cheese and macaroni. Oh yeah, because it's so cheesy. Pick it, it's the cheesiest.
Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Why are you eating on an upholstered chair? Where are your parents? Are these latchkey kids? And why does one have so much authority over the other?
Dinner has more cheese than anyone else. That's why it's the cheesiest.
Okay, officer, it's Kraft cheese and macaroni. And I don't need this for evidence. Hey!
And try Kraft potatoes and cheese and pasta and cheese. They're the
Au
cheesiest too.
gratin.
This is me, Lauren Scott, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now. I've lost 70 pounds, and I'm loving it.
Dudes want to nail me.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You've seen how Nutrisystem works for other people. Well, now's your opportunity
Can
to
it
lose
work for
weight
you?
and save money, too. For 3 days only, pay for a 15-pound program and lose the rest for free. Call now for this special 3-day offer. There's a right way to lose weight. Nutrisystem, 1-800-321.
So, nowadays, I feel like I'm inundated with fucking Factor or HelloFresh or all these other goddamn... And it's so annoying. Just the amount of... Factor commercials, for instance, I see makes me never want to buy that shit because I'm so irritated seeing it all over the goddamn place. But I felt the same back when, in the 90s, when Jenny Craig or Nutrisystem or Weight Watchers, all these things where you just, get a bunch of fat chicks who used to be fat, in the 70s and now lost a lot of weight here in the 80s and 90s. And you're like, oh, we'll get Valerie Bertinelli or some other person. It's so annoying. It shouldn't be that hard to just not eat trash. And I get with people who don't or can't or are busy for whatever. I understand. I get the concept. The commercials basically told me everything I need to know and I've memorized it. But I don't know. It just felt like back in the day, everybody I knew, not everybody I knew, but all the moms of my friends, they were always on Nutrisystem or Weight Watchers. People in my family are in and out of that
Slim
shit.
Fast.
Nothing ever fucking changed.
Factor's pre-made meals that you can...
This isn't a read ad for fucking Factor. The moral
No,
of the story
she's
is-
just asking.
I know, I'm saying, but it's a ready-made meal kit. It's not like this. It's just ubiquitous in the ready-made meals. It's 500 calories. There's a chicken breast. It's a fucking cheese. I don't care. Oh, 2 minutes. Wow. I hate them.
It's magnificent old oak.
He's waiting for Andy Dufresne.
You can feel its strength, its stability. Stability.
He slips into a bathtub with his boner pill and his wife.
There's a place where alcoholics and drug addicts can go to regain their
What?
strength, where the treatment has a healing power of its own.
Is this
That
Bo
place is
Bridges?
New Beginnings. Call them, because it's never too late for a new beginning.
I think those places are scams personally, but have you ever met someone who was on? Here's the thing. I want to ask you this legitimately because I've known a ton of people on drugs. I've never had anyone break down and say I need help. They just die eventually, at least in my life. Like, they disappear out of my life and I find out later they died. No one has ever like been like, oh, I need help. Like, I understand that like these places must not exist for no reason, right? Like, there are people going to them. But I bet a lot of their clientele are like parents being like, my kid has some druggy friends.
Under Pennsylvania's new auto insurance law,
Today's show, middle-aged guy rants on screen.
Listen, the screen
and yells at his wife.
You are now entitled to if you're injured in an auto accident. It's crucial to know that no matter what insurance coverage you select, you may still be able to collect money for medical bills, lost wages, and for your pain and suffering. I'm attorney Edgar Snyder. Call my law firm for a free consultation about your rights under the new law. And remember, there's no fee unless we get money for you.
There are 3 genres, like 3 subspecies of lawyer, and they all do their same shtick. Like, they do it themselves. Like, they're always in their own commercials. Like, here we have Jacoby and Myers, Peterson Johnson, used to be Goldberg and Osborne. They've changed throughout the years. But you either get the lawyer like this dude, who's like a wet fish mayo sandwich on white bread, who's like, I'll get you some money. And then you've got like Phillips and Associates here in the Valley, where like he's very aggressive, and there's not a lot of like pomp and circumstance. So just be like a desert shot or some clouds behind him. He's like, we're gonna get you that money. Ah! And then there's that next step up where like they give themselves a nickname and a prop. Like a lot of lawyers like to call themselves the Hammer or something. I find this guy to be the most enjoyable. And this is the type of person I would go with, because he's obviously not put any, like he hasn't put any of his skill points in like Riz or anything like that. This is a guy who probably just like hit the books and that's all he knows. That's why he's like a dead fish on the camera. Like, we've got one here. It's like the husband and wife law team. It's like, oh yeah,
my God.
That's what I want. Like, I want 2 lawyers who are fucking one another. That's the winning strategy, right, guys?
Attorney Edgar Snyder, 391-2101, 391-2101.
It's a bitter battle when the real mom confronts the stepmom.
Sharon is trying to take Tina away from me.
No, Tina and I are good friends. You feel like you're caught in the middle.
I love them both, and my mom thinks that I love my stepmother more, which is not true.
Why are we
This
here?
seems to be a thing about control.
I don't think my children need to be controlled. They're grown. They don't need someone to tell them what.
It is absolutely incredible to me, and this may be just like an old man Dave thing again. But like, if you lived through it, you got to see Oprah go from like a Maury trash TV type personality, Sally Jesse Raphael, my personal favorite, Ricky Lake, to like this pinnacle of like high culture to just gone. Right? Like, she shows up every once in a while to like do an interview, like David Letterman will do that. But like after the Oprah show, and everybody's like, oh God, what am I gonna do without Oprah? We all went on, lived.
Yeah.
Let go of them. Parents versus step-parents on the next Oprah show.
They synchronized their perms. Everybody had a perm in the 90s.
TV2.
Oprah's on. Remember that, guys?
The new essentials. Tools of health and beauty. Tools of house and home.
Slim Fast?
At extra low prices. Gentle care for your hair with Suave and extra low 97 cents. And look your best with finesse.
All those
and
talk
extra
shows
low
were trash and are trash. Like,
but Oprah took it up from like stepmoms and real moms fighting it out. Like, she never slipped as low as like Jerry Springer, where they had like that guy with the fat fetish who like they wheeled out that big walrus like covered in food, and he basically just dry humped her. Like, she never got that low, and it was always a little. It was like Maury at its worst, and Maury was like, I don't know, of the.
I used to watch Maury.
Yeah, like of the ecosystem of daytime talk, like I would say Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, like bottom feeders. Above that, you had Sally Jesse Raphael, early Oprah, and Maury. Like, because Sally Jesse Raphael would be like, she'd throw in a scare your teen straight by throwing him in a military thing, but it was always a little more than just like you want to call someone a bitch on
Yeah,
television.
the one Maury episode that I remember the most was when he had the different couples come in, and like the human lizard guy who had his tongue split.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and all
they
that.
have wild cards where they go like, oh shit, like the guy who like made himself look like a tiger is still getting interviewed to this day. I'm sure. I did see when Oprah interviewed the Ninja Turtles, Ryan, but that was from like the Out of Our Shell tour, and they like, I don't know, the 80s and 90s were a weird time because like all the turtles were still getting like a boner over April. I realized that never went anywhere. It sort of waned from like the early years to like when Michael Bay produced those ones where it's like, oh, my shell's tight, like, cringe.
Oprah made housewives read books. That's true.
The white-haired guy was Donahue Brick. I forgot about Donahue. Holy shit. And Geraldo Rivera had one. We were fucking, like, the landscape was apocalyptic in the early 90s. So many daytime talk shows. Now it's like, I don't even know who's out there. Ellen's gone. Wendy Williams is gone.
Now, like,
Rosie's gone.
Because everybody has to work now.
$1.29. The new essentials at Food
There's always going to be stay-at-home moms watch trash.
Now you can eat cake.
Maybe you can.
No, you can eat this luscious cherry-filled coffee cake.
That's a pie.
I don't think so.
But you can.
It's Entenmann's, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No fat. My aunt, every gimmick there was. She had the Lester diarrhea chips, but like the Entenmann's name was always in that house. Like products from Entenmann's are always there. And I ate the shit out of it. Because like back when we didn't think clearly and we cut the fat and we just kept eating sugar, everybody was keep getting fat. I loved going over there because like they had the coffee cake and the Entenmann's was always over there.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew Barrymore, Kelly Clarkson. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
These new Entenmann's cakes have no fat and no cholesterol. Just quality ingredients like Dole pineapple, Chiquita bananas, even Dutch cocoa.
You're really serious.
Ingredients we've used for over 90 years.
No fat, guys.
Making the best every day since 1898.
Raspberry twist.
How? Like you need butter or oil or something. How? How'd they do it, guys? I never cracked that code.
You can eat cake.
Oh, yeah.
When
Never eaten the ingredients.
tough, remember, Shake and Bake makes it easy.
Oh, yeah, the AIDS weight loss candies. They didn't last super long on the market. I remember seeing them vaguely, but like they're not like a juicy fruit.
Easy to treat your family to plump, juicy pork chops without frying.
Shake and bake.
Why fry? Shake and Bake.
Man, my mom used to love doing the shake and bake.
Why fry? It works better. Shake and bake, you're going to shake it. The top will get baked. The bottom is going to stay soggy as shit. Fuck you, shake and bake.
If you've developed a fear of frying, remember, Shake and Bake makes it easy to make crisp,
Look at
juicy
it.
chicken for your whole family.
I don't like to fry things, so David does.
Why fry?
I love frying things. It makes things taste better, and depending on the fat you use, totally fine. Right? I mean, whatever. You live your own life, but like I feel like we learned maybe that wasn't so great. Like we're just eating nothing but non-fat, high-carb garbage.
Shake and Bake.
Yeah, on account of the terminal illness, you're probably right there,
Nailing
Rachel.
it.
They were like, you know what? At first, before the big AIDS happened, we thought the AIDS chocolate was going to go off gangbusters. So we changed it to gonorrhea.
You confused, afraid, and unsure of yourself?
Oh,
Do you have
God.
problems with relationships? Are you searching for romance? Call the psychic hotline at 1-900-535-LIVE
Since the internet isn't a thing, you just have to wander around your living room and hope.
and
You
talk
can't get assaulted visually by some dude's joint on like chat roulette or anything.
101 with an authentic psychic astrologer. The psychic hotline is not a computer, not a tape. You'll get good
It's a
advice
CD.
about love and relationships, romance, even money in your career.
Great
The
news.
answers you
You're
need are
gonna
just
get
a phone
horned
call
up.
away at 1-900-535-LIVE
Look at my hair.
Call now and receive your personal astrological forecast for the coming year on audio cassette. The charge is $2.99.
But you just said no tapes.
They record all their video or all their
That's
phone
the
calls.
thing about like how do you guys, and by you guys, I mean I probably not you guys. I hope not you guys. But how do people who believe in this shit go like, yeah, that is just okay, 12 months out of the year. So like, are you saying that everyone born in that month is gonna have the same shit happen to them? Like, Doesn't that seem crazy to you? Like, you've ever opened an astrological scroll and it says something just generic enough for you to go like, yeah, sometimes I am sassy, but I can be coy.
I will say so. Never mind. You're not going to want to hear it. Forget it. Never mind.
You read something that came true.
Type a 1 in the chat if you want to hear what I have to say. No, it's just when people that do the readings or whatever, they like don't just ask what month you were born. It goes down into like the time and where and all that stuff to look at whatever they look at. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, guess what they're looking at? Bullshit. Like, what could you look at? Like, what do you think that the planets that have nothing to do with you, right? They're hundreds of millions of light years away, depending on where your thinking is affecting you. Do you think that has more bearing on you than the people you're around, the actions you perform every day, your job, your parents, all this? They go, well, Uranus is a little high, so look out for love.
Listerine kills germs. It hits plaque above the gum
They haven't
line.
come up with the green flavor
Listerine
yet.
battles the gum disease gingivitis in big fight tonight.
Gingivitis was huge in the 90s, guys. If you weren't around to witness it, they were so worried about gingivitis. I felt like I could not turn on the TV and go 4 minutes without hearing someone say, you know, look out, the looming threat of gingivitis abounds. Welcome to the show, FDX.
And another right. Listerine really rocked him. It's over.
It's your rectum.
The winner. Listerine antiseptic. It says
Oh yeah, gingivitis and anal leakage. You didn't want either of them, but you basically at least got anal leakage. I don't know. It was like having gingivitis felt like scurvy to me. It was like, who's getting gingivitis? But like everybody had anal leakage. They were both in the cultural zeitgeist, though.
When it does what it says.
Give yourself a look. Check it out. Bo-Rix. Give yourself a wow. Check it out.
that shirt.
Give yourself a
It's like the worst mixed song in the world.
At Bo-Rix Hair Care, you get the look of the $15 haircut for only $8. At
Whoa.
Bo-Rix, the only...
Could you imagine go walking up to someone like, how much do you think I paid for this haircut? And they go, $15. And you go, no, $8. $8, guys. This isn't a $15 haircut.
Difference is the price.
Bo-Rix.
The urgency. I was always urgent to have bloody bowel movements. I was always worried about whether my legs were going to become restless or I would be hopelessly addicted to gambling suddenly.
Brick is still terrified of gingivitis and incontinence.
Yeah, watch out for both of those things. I mean, I don't know what gingivitis actually does. I didn't get much knowledge based on the mouthwash
Makes your gums
commercials.
bleed.
Oh, there you go. Look out for that. I'd take bloody gums over leaky butthole.
Bleeding Gums Murphy had gingivitis.
Yeah, they didn't call him Leaky Anus Murphy.
Freshness of mountain-grown Folgers. Now you can love it even longer. Introducing the Folgers Freshness Pack. Ground roast Folgers that stays fresh longer because our new bottle seals up tight.
Not for nothing. I'll say this. Like, I'm glad like bougie and boutique coffee shops came along, because if I had to live through the same bullshit my parents and grandparents did, where like Folgers was the norm, like, oh, God.
So the rich aroma of our mountain-grown beans stays fresh and irresistible.
P.S. for yours truly, if you're looking for a different place on the planet to find your beans, if you're not getting Guatemalan coffee beans, look into it. Rich, chocolatey, not like too acidic. I find it to be very smooth and enjoyable.
So you can be too.
I got a restless anus syndrome, Matt.
Waking up is Folgers in your cup.
The new Folgers Freshness Pack.
Couples all over town are rushing
After
into
high
Eaton Park
school.
for a dinner deal that's too good to be true. Now Monday.
Yeah, during high school, my name was Sealed Anus.
Food Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m. You and a friend can dine on chicken netterelle, Scrot, Maryland, homemade Salisbury steak, or butterfly shrimp with all the trimmings and even dessert for only $11.95.
There used to be a lot of RLS commercials back in the 2000s.
It felt like we had nothing better to do, right? Like before the 24-hour news cycle and all that shit, like we had to just like make up shit to get through the day. So you could have like chronic dry eye, you could get a prescription for, you could have restless legs. Like there were so many like non-issues that you could just get pills for.
Yeah.
And like now we're like on hyperdrive. Like if you're fat, you can take Ozempic and look like a sucked out corpse in 3 months.
For dry, red eyes, clear eyes is awesome.
But if that didn't work, you had to get the script.
Yeah.
Baseball, Johnny.
Whee!
Would you sniff his sandwich?
Oh yeah, now it's fibromyalgia.
Yeah, now you can have fibromyalgia. Like, is there anything wrong with you in general? You got fibromyalgia. You don't have to like point to your eye or your restless legs or your leaky ass.
Random pain,
You just say,
fibromyalgia.
I've got generalized malaise, and they give you one. Looks like Harpo Marx.
Rolaids. Now that spells relief.
Okay.
Look at me. Enjoying corn on the cob. Thanks to Super Polygrip.
How many, just like, because this exists to this day. How many Polygrip, Effordent, whatever, how many commercials have you seen where old people are eating corn or biting apples and bragging about it versus how many times you've seen videos of an old person spit out one or both of their dentures while trying to blow out birthday candles or like turn their head too fast? I thought we did wipe this scourge off the planet by now. Like in the 90s and the 80s, it was like, hey, guess what? You can now just like bite onto the bow of a ship and get pulled across the North Atlantic, and they'll never let go. And you know, cut to today, the problem is still everywhere. Birthday cakes are ruined on the daily.
Super Polygrip forms a seal
One of the
that
side
holds
effects
so
of the
tight, many
RLS meds
denture
was
wearers can enjoy more of their
hypersexuality.
favorite
It had a
foods.
disclaimer about it at the bottom. I think lots of people ran out and bought that.
They moved their restless legs up to restless hips. Now I got to find a cure for that. I can't stop pulling my wife's back out. Oh, wow, really? What about your legs? Steady as a rock. All right, cool.
Corn on the cob.
Super Polygrip.
When things get tough, remember, Shake and Bake makes it easy to treat your family to plump, juicy pork chops.
I mean, but did it?
Frying.
I ate that shit.
Why fry? Shake and Bake.
Who put... Okay, so FDO says, my dad worked with someone who would put cob on a string and then eat it. His nickname was Skip a Row because he was missing a row of teeth. A row? What number one? Was he a shark?
Don't you only have 2 rows?
Yeah, one top and one bottom. So did he just like lose one of the... I mean, if you're going to say you lost a row, I would rather... I don't know. If you had to lose your top or your bottom teeth, which would you rather go without?
Probably my bottom.
Want something for the house?
Because you still want to do this.
I think it would suck
Wait
your
until you
mouth
save
out
the mo-
less. If you had teeth on the top, because you know when people have no teeth.
I mean, no one's going to stop you from getting dentures. I don't
Right.
know why your dad's friend just didn't get dentures. Because, like, I mean, they're a dime a dozen now. Medicare pays for
Honey,
them.
that could be a long wait, and you're
We started this year in 2010. Now we're all the way in 2050.
not getting any younger. Well, wait no
Bottom.
more.
All right.
Call Rainbow
Skip a
Rentals
hoe.
today, and you can have this beautiful sofa and chair by England Corsair with a lifetime frame warranty for just $14.95 a week, and it'll be delivered the same day, guaranteed, or we'll pay your first week's rent.
Put a little rainbow in your life.
I pray for you if you are now or have ever been in a situation where you're like renting to own furniture. I can't think of a worse place to be.
Women's and men's Elkland fashion sport hikers, $19.99 to $24.99. Spirited new styles now, fantastic savings this week at Pickway Shoes.
Pickway.
Announce an inning alongside a pirate broadcaster when KDKA and the Pirates present the second annual Pirate Fest at the Expo Mart in Monroeville.
Will it be real pirate
As chairman
radio,
of
you
the
think?
Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, I know one thing crucial to the cure. You. Please call
Pancreases. We need more pancreases.
All of them. Give us your
1-800
pancreas.
JDF Cure.
Listen to what may be the most important message you'll ever hear.
Psychic
The
hotline.
medical
Oh.
industry is booming. Qualified people are needed desperately to fill key positions as medical assistants, lab assistants, and medical secretaries.
Red Brick, you think that would be the smart thing to do? You think buy something used. The want ads existed. Goodwill is not a recent invention. I can't understand why you would like walk into a place and be like, I want to buy a couch. And they go, great. You can pay it off in 27 months and pay a grand total of $19,000 for an $800 couch.
People like you have never been in greater demand, but you need training.
Fistful of Pirate
Call
Radio,
Sawyer School.
ER.
We'll rush you the information
Cancer
you need to
research
get
doctors
started
are needed
so you
in
can
San
be on the
Francisco.
job fast. Financial aid
I mean,
and
not
job
for another
placement
20,
assistance is
30
available,
years.
so don't wait. Call Sawyer School right now.
This is me, Lauren
I should have went
Scott,
to
before
ITT Technical
Nutrisystem.
Institute.
And this is me now. I've lost 70 pounds.
Still not confident enough for a two-piece, right, guys? What's that about?
And I'm loving it. You've seen how Nutrisystem
She has a lot of
works
loose
for other
skin.
people.
She has to
Well, now's
suck it
your
in with the
opportunity to lose
bathing
weight
suit.
and save money too. For 3 days.
How like hyper fat do you have to be to have that much skin left over? Because I feel like if you don't, I feel like that's maybe part of it is like when people are like hyper fat like that and they lose a bunch of weight super fast, your skin can't rebound.
Yes.
Like, I know everybody wants it done yesterday, but maybe if you go slow, you won't end up with like an elephant scrotum hanging off of your chest or whatever. Like, not for nothing.
Or like the
Pay
wings
for a
on the
15-round
arms.
program and lose the rest.
Just like go out naturally instead of like having someone remove 80% of your stomach or whatever.
Free. Call now for this special 3-day offer. There's a right way to lose
I
weight.
think that might happen with people that do Ozempic.
1-800-321
Because they lose
Yeah.
weight real fast.
But then they look like the like any corpse from Return of the Living Dead. They just like totally sucked out, or like 28 months later or whatever. They look like desiccated corpses, where like they were walking through the desert in Vegas or wherever, and have just like lost all their moisture, but are somehow still animated and able to wave to the crowds.
Yeah, I feel like
If
they're
you've
just
been seriously
malnourishing
injured in an
themselves.
accident, the law limits the time you have to take legal.
Yeah, there's probably a bunch of different factors, but like a hyper fast loss of weight due to unnatural means, like it can't help.
Action. Now, if you delay, you could lose your right to receive payment for your injuries. Call the Injury Helpline. Talk to an attorney near you for free, one who will explain your legal rights and costs. There are no attorney fees unless you receive payment for your injuries. Time may be
Waiting
running
for like a
out. The
mesothelioma
insurance
commercial,
companies
or was
have
that the
attorneys working
2000s?
hard on their side, and so
Yeah,
should
we like. I don't think anyone
knew what that was in the 90s.
They probably did, because like people were dying in the 90s of mesothelioma because as a child in the 50s they were playing in like asbestos dust or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just it took a while for like medical science to figure it out, and then it takes a little while after that for like the litigious people to come out and be like, oh, did someone
Get
die?
compensation.
Yeah, like in the 90s they were worried about rayon.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a lot of shit going on with like rayon in the basement, this, that, the other. We had a lot of the class action lawsuits that they were trying to get off the ground weren't as like dire. I'm sure a lot of people died of rayon in their basement or whatever, but like the amount of people who breathed in arsenic probably dwarfs those people.
Yeah.
Mesothelioma.
you. Call 1-800-343-7001.
We'll find a better deal with anybody else.
Yeah, well, we'll give it serious thought.
Okay, I'll give you a call Monday.
This is my husband, Jack. He's a salesman. It's stressful.
What does he sell?
How'd it go?
Not bad.
But now he takes care of himself, exercising more and cutting back on fat, especially saturated fat. That's why I switched to Puritan oil. It's 94% saturated fat-free, better than any other kind of oil. Jack's never felt better, and we've never felt better together.
Okay, like typically you hold a sign up for someone you don't know at the airport. If it's your wife and she was holding up a sign, I would be like, huh? Like, did you forget how long has he been away? Number
Right.
one. Number two, like, she couldn't like wait and be like, "Hey, it's me, Jack." Like, it's Molly Ringwald with darker hair. I don't know, man.
It's been 84 years.
Yeah, so that's the thing, Brick. Like, it doesn't happen overnight, which is why it took a long time for people to like tie asbestos. Like, you know, full disclosure, I worked in a building full of asbestos, so I don't know what's going to happen to me. I wore masks as much as I could, and we weren't up in the building as much. But ASU used to be like a school for farmers and shit. So the building I was working in was erected in like 1890. So it was nothing but like brick and mortar and asbestos all over the fucking place. So what'll happen to me? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe something. I don't know.
Rachel just read about a woman who won a lawsuit because a can of cooking spray exploded in her kitchen.
I mean, yeah, because like what the, I don't know. It feels, lawsuits like that can go one of two ways. Where like it was definitely a factory problem, it exploded and never should have happened. Or like, you know, those people who like are forgetful and they'll like put a highly pressurized can of something on the stove and then.
Yeah.
All my favorite things are blue. I got a blue sweatshirt, see?
Yeah, and that's insane too, because like it did, like a lot of it did come around because when, like, you know, again, like what Rachel said, 9/11, like all that dust and everything, like, yeah, I'm sure it's more than asbestos getting into your lungs to cause the cancer that it does. But it's not tied to any other substance that I've seen, which means that like how much asbestos was in the World Trade Center or something of a similar material,
right?
Like that would burrow into your lung tissue, right? Like, weird.
Even got a blue bed.
It feels like so modern.
And my favoriteest thing of all, Lucky Dog brand dog food from Purina in the blue bag.
I hate dog voices.
My Lucky Dog has a taste of beef, plus chicken, plus cheese. Yep, all my favorite things are blue. Well, almost all.
Your dog a lucky dog today.
I could sure use my tax refund now.
With H&R Block's Rapid Refund, you don't
It's
have
my
to
money
wait.
and I need it
I'm a
now.
little short of cash right now.
With Rapid Refund,
Great,
you
I'm a little short of cash.
don't need any money.
Sure you have, Travis.
What's that?
We file your federal return
What's that? Yeah, I was, ma'am, excuse me, not for nothing. If you check my resume, I was the what's that person in the H&R Block commercial.
electronically with the IRS, and a refund loan is on its way to you in a matter of days. You don't need any cash because all fees are deducted from your check. Available whether H&R Block prepares your return or not.
Now that's the way it ought to be.
That's Rapid Refund from H&R Block.
Play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new $1 Million Spin. It's your chance to win. Saturdays at 7, right here on KDKA TV2.
Do you ever feel that the pressures of everyday life have just become too much for you to handle?
Something that died in the mid-90s, brooches. Like, by the time the mid-90s rolled around, the only people wearing brooches were like 70 plus. And if you're 70 plus back then, you're definitely dead now. But like in the 80s, it was like maybe like the counterculture thing. Like old ladies wore big pink plastic cat brooches, but so did like kids in their 20s.
Yep.
Well, you're not alone, and you can get help. This free book
entirely of recycled plastic. We saved, so you save. Everyone saves when you recycle and renew.
That was weird.
With AI. There is, speaking of the devil, there's Phil Donahue. Today, we would just had AI go over that lady's voice.
A politician threatens violence to fight racism next Donahue.
Of all my birthdays, I
Donahue.
think I remember my 9th the most. It was the big blizzard of '63. The phone started ringing. There'd be no party, no pin the tail on the donkey, no presents, no Billy Flynn. I thought I'd die. Then Mom made hot Ovaltine.
Mom made Folgers.
And she and I had our own party. Now, it just wouldn't be a birthday.
Where's Dad? Number one. Number two,
Right.
like the snowfall outside is so light, even I, as an Arizona resident, know that like that's bullshit. Like, come on.
They without
Fuck
her.
Merv Griffin.
Ovaltine.
Bricks, I hate doing taxes. Now I don't even have to file. It's done by our IRS. They just send an email if you get a refund or owe them. Wow.
What? That, you know, on a small island nation, it's probably easier to do than,
Yeah.
you know.
I do our taxes. And I already started.
Remember, Shake and Bake makes it easy to treat your family
Birthdays.
to
Party was sponsored by Little Orphan Annie.
without frying.
Wow, honey, did you fry this? It's all soggy on the bottom.
If you've developed a fear of frying, remember.
Why? Why would you?
Makes it
Because of the liberal Jew-run media.
without frying. Why fry? Shake and Bake.
Humiliation. I'm a second-half quarterback.
Now that was a stellar performance.
Super Buckets.
Have some chicken. You look weak. His arm is weak. It's called aging.
From Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Guys, aging. You guys remember when the buckets of chicken used to be this big and now your back hurts? But like, this is also when like dudes in commercials look just like regular dudes. Like now I feel like if KFC, I haven't seen their commercials in a while, but they probably don't have anyone over the age of like 27 in them.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds. Like the dude's got a cul-de-sac he could park 7 cars on.
Trivia, guys. Who has the record for most
Donnie's
fun
married to
before today?
Marlo Thomas.
15 pieces
Little
of
fun
chicken
fact.
or a supersized
Just like I always found it weird that Maury Povich was married to Connie Chung. I was like, huh?
bucket of hot wings, just $9.99 each.
Wait till the second half.
All right, rally.
Anytime you're ready, gentlemen.
Super Buckets from KFC.
Afraid of this.
My knees.
Up here, Dad.
Did she rent the penthouse?
It's only 4 blocks from school. And it's miles away from clean.
Ew. Good thing we brought some muscle. Hey, the big bald guy.
Mr. Clean, Mr.
This is like the setup of the Bye Bye Man. Like this bitch rents a house without looking at it. Like would have walked through and been like, oh, it's filthy as fuck. I guess I'll not take it. He goes, oh, I can't believe how dirty it is. I hope the Bye Bye Man's not in my closet.
Mr. Clean doesn't just cut through tough, grimy dirt. He cleans right down to the shine.
Maury's father was named
with no
Shirley.
dulling film.
Shirley Povich.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Bright kitchen.
Bright girl.
Look how much they used. None. The seal is still on.
Don't just clean it, Mr. Clean it to the shine.
Yeah, in 10 years or so, he's going to get your mom all hot and bothered, and she's going to flick her bean to him. But we'll wait. Let's let Dad handle that.
Good morning. It's time for a healthy breakfast.
This time your kids will eat it.
A cereal made from wholesome oats.
Don't worry, your kids will eat it.
Yes, healthy, wholesome oats. Now it's crunchier than ever. It's yummier than ever. It's Quaker
I mean, what could be worse than a troll in the basement?
Oat Life. Lightly sweetened on the inside, roasted, toasted oats on the outside. Life tastes so much better. Even great, big, giant, smart grown-ups will eat it.
Like inspire this improvement.
George Kim?
Advocate of excellence.
Now, Quaker Oat Life tastes so much more delicious. Unless they're weird, your kids will eat it.
And if they are not willing to eat Life cereal, they're definitely weird, and take them to a doctor.
Lewis Rich Deli Thin Cold Cuts.
Doesn't Lewis Rich feel like Buttigieg's slightly richer cousin?
Mm-hmm.
Tastes too good.
Yes, Buttigieg, if you're not in the know, is like the fucking bottom of the barrel. It's like anuses and lips.
I don't believe it.
Deliciously thinner cold cuts from
All
Lewis
the
Rich.
fat.
And low fat? No way.
Tastes too good to be, but it's true. Tastes too good to be good for you.
Are you kidding?
They're deli thin and deli delicious.
You're not kidding.
Tastes too good to be good for you.
That was like the sentiment of the 80s, right? Everything in the 80s, since they removed all the fat and threw sugar and carbs and like grains into it. So doesn't it taste too good to be good for you? And they go, yeah, it does. And now that we're dealing with morbid obesity on every street corner, feels like, well, yeah, I guess, yeah. When things are too good to be true, they're typically not. Doy, Occam's razor, after a fashion.
Too good.
Doy.
It's incredible. I never thought one cereal could make my whole family stay for breakfast. Honey Bunches of Oats.
They're constantly late for work and school.
They won't get up any earlier, but they spend a lot more time around the breakfast table. And I'm like, guys, we can't do that.
Bunches of oats, one great taste for your whole bunch.
Get out of the house. I need to watch my talk
crispy
shows.
flakes of corn and wheat with crunchy bunches of honey roasted oats. That's why there's never been a cereal.
I mean, not rife with the same sort of comedy gold as Nut and Honey, because you could always be like, what's going on in there? And you go, Nut and Honey, and the boss is like, I told you not to call me that at work. You guys remember that commercial? I feel like that was their shtick. They didn't like lean into anything, but like the fact that you could scream Nut and Honey And no one was ever like, what? You're having ejaculation with something. So I was like,
That tasted like this. Finally, a cereal my whole family.
I'm nutting, honey. Ugh, clean up afterwards.
They just came in and bought out all of our Diet Coke.
Relax, sir. They're just trying to crack the code for...
Speaking of Donahue, you guys remember when in Spy Hard, Leslie Nielsen punches out Phil Donahue and goes on the stage? Maybe that wasn't Spy Hard. That was like Naked Gun 33 1/3. I just remember Frank Drebin, I'm pretty sure it was Frank Drebin, punching. So yeah, it had to be a Naked Gun.
For real refreshment. You get these game pieces with special...
Yeah, with Anna Nicole Smith, and she has the wiener in that movie.
They marked packages of Diet Coke, then crack the code during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, nothing, you're
There's
serious.
a million prizes, even...
Nothing, honey.
Million.
What?
How'd you guess?
Diet Coke.
Crack the code for real refreshment.
In your area, get your game piece inside specially marked multi-packs of Diet Coke or caffeine-free Diet Coke, where you shop for real refreshment.
I could sure use my tax refund now.
With H&R Block's Rapid Refund, you don't have to wait.
Great.
Right, R.I.P. Anna Nicole. Like, one of her best performances, I'm pretty sure it was Naked Gun 33 1/3, right? That's the one where he had to go into that award show, and like Ricardo Montalban was like, that was the second one. I don't know. O.J. Simpson was a terrible person, right?
H&R Block prepares your return or not.
Now that's the way it ought to be.
That's Rapid Refund from H&R Block.
Hungry. Got an appetite that's fully grown. And a brand new syrup.
It's a kid, right? That's the thing. It's a kid.
Hungry. Yeah, he's hungry. For new Hungry Jack syrup. For this big guy, it's Hungry
Fuck the pancakes. Just give him a bowl of syrup for that guy.
Jack. It's thick and rich. That's a fact. Hungry. So give him that syrup.
Hungry big guy.
And just stand back.
Whoa.
Told you, right, guys?
New Hungry Jack syrup for the Hungry Jack in your house.
Now with 1,000% more corn syrup than maple syrup.
When
Oh my God, I'm so tired of shake and bake.
baby.
Remember, shake and bake makes it easy.
I
to
tried.
treat
Why hasn't anybody felt like chicken tonight? Right, guys?
Frying. Why fry?
This
Shake
sounds
and bake.
sexual.
If you've developed a fear of frying, remember, shake and bake makes it easy to make crisp, juicy.
And with the right Polydent or denture cream, you can eat that corn. Don't worry, guys.
Lucky dog, lucky dog. My lucky dog brand dog food from Purina has the taste of beef.
This is like the broke dick cousin of like, you guys remember the Bacon Strips commercials, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that was a dog voice. That encapsulated the energy of a dog.
Yeah.
This feels like he should be in what's that fucking shitty movie? Not After Last Season, but the one that doesn't matter. Alvin Flang, if that makes any sense to you.
Purina Gravy brand
There was a fish living in that dog food lake, guys? What?
dog food. It's a smash.
We went to an authentic...
I never got any of the chicken tonight sauces. Brick, were they any good? I assume you're asking because you want to connect on that on a personal level.
German baker to bring you the best strudel.
Guten Morgen.
Presenting Pillsbury Toaster Strudel breakfast pastry.
Von den Freezer.
Delicate strudel, bursting with juicy
Let's go easy on like the Germans in the oven references.
fruit flavors. You just warm.
Und Eisen on den Toppen.
Sprickens and Lingity. Here's the thing, guys. I don't care who you are or where you are. There are definite signifiers of class and rank. And the Pop-Tarts is the Chevy Sprint to Pillsbury Toaster Strudel's Bentley. They're not even, like, they're almost not even considered the same thing, right? Like an e-bike versus like a motorcycle. You can say, well, they both have at least one tire, but
I wouldn't put them in the same category. I like Pop-Tarts better, but I didn't put shit in the microwave, in the toaster. Like, I didn't put...
Right, and you eat them wrong too. That's the problem. But that's it. They're essentially the same thing. They go in the toaster. One has icing. One you put on yourself. So it's like that homegrown, like do-it-yourself sort of mentality. But like the fluffiness of the pastry, like the richness of the cream filling, instead of just like it was. You don't know them? Oh my God. Rachel, if you are one to eat such things, go to the store and get some toaster pastries, right? Pillsbury. And pick your favorite flavor. Mine was always cherry. A strong second was blueberry. But just do it for yourself. It's got like a puff pastry crust.
Yeah,
it's
they're
very
flaky.
Like it's. Don't worry about chicken tonight. That's trash. What you want to do is get a toaster strudel into your face as soon as possible. If you don't eat this sort of stuff, at least do it once, even if it does bring on horrifying diarrhea.
Or anal leakage.
16 layers of flaky, delicate pastry that's so delicious.
It is too. Like, oh my God, on a cold day, a warm toaster strudel. And like, that's the thing. Here in Arizona, how many cold days did you have? Like, it was enough to make me remember.
Lima, I mean, nothing says lovin' like my toaster strudel.
The apple was okay too. There was actually like chunks of apple, which I found delightful, even though I often burn myself on them.
Give a little kick to all your favorite foods with tangy Heinz 57 sauce. It's like ketchup.
'Cause I get a kick.
With a kick.
It's like ketchup.
The end.
My son Jeff, one busy guy, but he will drop everything for Campbell's Chunky Soup.
Well, like limit yourself. Like get
buy one box.
Have someone else drop it off at your door. Like don't even know where they get sold, but you have to try it at least once. I feel like it's a pivotal experience for someone of our age, and I assume you're probably around my age. You have to have had that because I'm sure they haven't changed an ounce since the old days.
Soup with delicious
Right
chunks
back.
of vegetables and meat.
Ryan
Chunky's
says
quick
they
to
recently
satisfy.
came out
So
with
Jeff
toaster donuts.
right where he left off.
Rein it in,
The satisfying
Pillsbury.
stop that keeps you going.
Oh,
Back when I was a
goddamn.
boy, Mom made
I miss Dave Thomas.
so good we couldn't wait to sit down to supper. I always thought we should have one just like it at Wendy's.
Introducing Wendy's 99-cent country fried steak. 100% beef, lightly breaded and cooked golden brown. It's new on the 99.
I'm not a fan of chicken fried steak or country fried steak, wherever you get it. I don't know why it works so good for me on chicken, all those herbs and spices, but when you do it to meat, I just found it so off-putting.
99-cent super value menu.
But also, my mom was a bad cook, so I feel like a lot of the stuff I don't like today is based off of just being prepared terribly.
Probably.
You can take the boy out of the
Brick's just
country,
gonna
but
stick
he
with
still
his
has
toast
to
and
eat.
Vegemite.
Come into Wendy's, but hurry. Dave's only cooking it.
Do yourself the favor. You've got that Royal Crown Reserve, Brick. Find yourself a toaster strudel. I'll mail you one. I'll pack it in like medical grade ice if I need to.
For a limited time.
Eyeglass frames or contact lenses for only $1.
Protein donuts?
Here. It's
Yeah, I'm not surprised those exist because they've had protein cookies for a
Sure.
while.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you're going to try and better yourself, stop looking for the old ways, right? Like if you're that's what I feel like is most people's problem. They want to change their life, but they don't actually want to change a fucking thing. Like if you eat a fuck ton of donuts or a bunch of garbage, you look for similar things that are healthier. And I feel like we've seen that happen before. You guys remember the 80s and 90s? It didn't work. So just like stick to whole foods. If something looks, again, if it looks too good to be true, get the fuck out of there, right? Like anytime I try to like, whatever, because you just have to make sacrifices, stick to whole foods, different sweeteners, and just get over it. But if you keep trying to live, like find the perfect keto bread, the perfect low carb bread, or the perfect thing that you're trying to desperately cut out because you're dying slowly, they want to eat donuts and maintain the muscle mass. But like that's the thing. Like if you're looking to I don't know. I just don't get people like that. Like when I made the changes I made in my life where I stopped eating as much trash, I didn't look for like family-friendly trash. I didn't look for trash that was a little less dirty. I stopped eating out of the fucking dumpster.
It's true. During Sears Optical's Double
I'm saying,
Dollar Days,
Rachel.
we've got 2 great ways to give you
Entenmann's all over again.
More
Fucking
for your
revenge of
dollar.
Entenmann's.
Buy Sears Best lenses, get eyeglass frames for only $1. Or get a pair of Durasoft clear contact lenses for just $1 when you buy Durasoft.
Right, FDO. But that's the thing. Nobody takes a once-in-a-while thing as a once-in-a-while thing. People think a donut is breakfast or like Pop-Tarts or whatever. Whatever trash you want to eat that you go like, well, I've been good. Or this is my cheat minute because I drank a glass of water and now I get to abuse my body. Like, yeah, of course. Just stop.
So hurry to Sears Optical for Double Dollar Days values now.
Creepy.
Remember Eyewear Express, eyeglasses overnight.
For soft and chewy chocolate chip cookies, use butter flavor Crisco with 50% less saturated fat than butter. Turn to the recipe on the can and watch what happens.
God, the amount of Crisco and like canola oil I was fed growing up, I'm gonna die of bowel cancer probably.
Cookies!
Hooray! We could have used butter, but we used vegetable shortening. Look into what that is.
Butter flavor Crisco with 50% less saturated fat than butter is the recipe for success.
No, it's not. The recipe for success for chocolate chip cookies, if you're at all interested, is to use the right ingredients. One of those being like clarified butter, and I suggest you clarify it or brown it yourself. Just take however much butter, add like onto it maybe another tablespoon or whatever you're going to use in the recipe, and clarify it and brown it a little bit. It'll bring so much depth to the flavor of your cookies or even the food, anything involved with butter. If you brown it a little bit, but you're not going to get that from like eating petroleum jelly that tastes like butter.
Okay, last time.
Finally.
This is drugs.
There's my brain.
This is your
kind of like ghee. But it's beyond that. Like you're going to clarify it, but also brown it. Like not burn it. You're just going to give it a little bit of caramelization of those lactose sugars to bring like a richer. It's hard to explain. It's like why I bochet honey. It brings toffee, it brings caramel, it brings so much complexity to an otherwise already good thing. It just adds a layer of that. And then people go, what's your secret? And you can go, fuck you, I ain't saying shit.
your brain on drugs. Any questions?
This is what our brains looked like in the 90s. Yeah. We all had frying pans with butter in them for brains. Let's put eggs in them for drugs.
Newspapers on top, cans on the bottom.
You bet you, Mom.
Remember when we just threw it all away and figured there was some big hole where the trash would disappear?
It did.
Well, it hasn't.
It
Take a
does?
look at this new Downy refill. I just pour it in, add water, and only throw away this. The refill costs less, too, for all that softness. But the best part
So
is
what happened to that?
I'm helping to make the future a little better for my kids.
Yeah, we tried, and then we realized it wasn't profitable, so we stopped. Fuck you, children of the future.
New Downy refill in April Fresh and Sunrinse Fresh. Less money, less waste.
Fuck you ain't saying shit.
From Eyewitness News, this is Newsbreak.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, the unofficial deadline for Iraq to get out of Kuwait is less than 8 hours away. We'll have the very latest news throughout the day and night. Governor Bob Casey sworn in for a second term.
Let's see, it's 1991, so surely by 2020 they'll have settled some sort of peace in the Middle East, right, guys?
This morning, Ralph Iannotti will have the day's events from Harrisburg. In sports, we'll have a pregame report from the Pens Flyers game in Philadelphia. Plus, play hockey underwater with John Burnett, and you can do it too. All that and more coming up on Eyewitness News at 6 this evening.
Look at all the people working behind them. Imagine like being an on-air talent and having to get dressed up and look nice, but then sitting at a desk working at a Commodore 64.
Right,
Although it's
and
probably
like
a Commodore 128 at this point.
I feel like you just have to be quiet all the time because
Yeah, you just go like, "Hey, I need that memo." And you're like, "What?" Show me the
Winter,
TV.
the perfect time for baseball. Join us when KDKA and the Pirates present the
Oh, our
second
son
annual
likes
Pirate
Kiwis
Fest
too,
at the
Rachel.
Expo Mart in Monroeville. This year, it's even bigger.
I think she means Kiwis as in New Zealanders, but I could be wrong because typically you call it New Zealand. Yeah.
You can announce an inning
Rachel?
alongside a Pirate broadcaster. Talk baseball with Jim Leland and Larry Doty.
Do you
Get
like
autographs
baseball?
from
I like turtles, right,
Pirate
guys?
players past and present.
Cringe.
Pirate Fest is bigger than ever at the Expo Mart in Monroeville, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Remember, it's the baseball team, not the scallywags of the high seas. So leave your big-titted wenches at home. Oh, you like the fruit also?
Oh, I'm referring to the birds.
It's a trifecta. You like the fruit, the birds, and the people. I imagine.
Call 321-BUCKS.
Couples all over town are rushing into
This feels like the Red Bull people before they landed the Red Bull contract.
Yep.
Now, Monday through Thursday, from 4 to 9 p.m., you and a friend can dine on chicken Naturel, Scrod, Maryland, homemade Salisbury steak,
I
or
love
butterfly
to just dick in. Dip into a big bucket of scrod.
shrimp with all the trimmings and even dessert for only $11.95. So don't think twice. Come in on the double for Eaton Park's dinner for two.
Eaton Park, all the scrod you can cram in your
Our
gullet.
commercial will demonstrate how new System Surf Liquid gets out the smelliest dirt we could find.
How about a rotten tomato, Dad?
Oh, Surf has this incredibly unique system that gets out dirt, sweat, and odors.
Bingo!
And dirty
Oh no, I got diarrhea while playing Grand Theft Auto 5.
odors. Just wait
Rain
till you see how
leakage
well it
is
works.
showing.
Here's the important part. Is new System Surf really a liquid miracle? You'll see. Surf
That guy's body, huh?
gets your clothes totally clean.
No stains, no smell.
For dirt and odors, how can you be
No anus can leak enough for sure.
the system?
Surf?
New System Surf.
Surf.
Try this at home with your own dad.
You try this at home on your own. That was a young Joe Piscopo with his mullet back there.
You got your 30-foot woman, 30 fast pucks, 30-pound pizza, 30 dumb clucks. But if you want to travel, your numbers just come up. 'Cause Greyhound is less than $30.
You guys ever want to get stabbed in the kidney for under $40?
Hell
3-day
yeah.
advance purchase.
Without going to jail?
And you can go as far as 300 miles on Greyhound for less than $30.
So listen up, Gus, and don't miss the bus. Greyhound is less than $30.
The way Whirlpool builds appliances, they must know my son Ernie. They must know what he does to his clothes.
It's constantly leaking from his anus. Why can't I get that boy to stop leaking from his anus? First with the restless legs, and now he's got a shaky pelvis.
What he does to the refrigerator door. How messy he can be.
Oh, I bet, Ryan.
The people at Whirlpool must know Ernie. That's why they build appliances the way they do. Appliances that work hard, that last. Appliances that I can count on. The way Ernie counts on me. I'm home.
Doesn't it feel like a quasi, like 1950s kitchen of the future? Like, I don't know, like it's so strange to me, the progression of man, because like in the 50s with the kitchen of the future and like the proliferation of electrical appliances and whatnot, it's like, think of all the time you'll save. But like in context, it was always like, well, the husband doesn't get home until like dinner time anyway. So it felt like everybody was just going to be like Marge Simpson, just like sitting, watching all the robots do the stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, you know, like, oh, now you can get sexually frisky with your husband. Because I'm not going to say that. Like, what are you going to do all this extra time on your hands? Learn German? Oh, right. Yeah. Like, but that was... I was going to bring that up, Rachel, but I thought maybe it's a little too crass. But yeah, you can get your shit eviscerated on a Greyhound bus. And dude, eat your tongue and put your ears in his pocket.
We've loaded up new Great Additions brownies with lots of great extras, like sprinkles and frosting in our Funfetti Frosted Brownies.
Lots of them.
Hell yeah.
Select California walnuts in our walnut brownies.
Lots of them.
And yummy chocolate morsels in our double chocolate brownies.
Lots of them.
So, if you like your brownies loaded, you'll love new Great Additions brownies.
Oh, nothing says lovin' like my Great Additions brownies.
It's so hard being someone who isn't into nuts. And by that, I mean like actual nuts, walnuts, almonds, all those good stuff. Like peanuts I get, but they're not nuts, technically, I find most actual classifiable nuts so waxy and off-putting. It's like eating a candle. I understand like walnuts are a superfood, and I wish like I put them in the same category as like avocados, where I wish I liked them because I understand like the health benefits involved with them, but they are so unpleasant to deal with. To get at that nutrition, I just leave them on the table all the time. Now, they are legumes. I think Mrs. Frizzle taught me that.
I like it smooth. I like it slow. Taking our time.
Is this guy coming home from like Desert Storm? What was happening in 1991?
Round and round we go. Don't ever change.
Seems as long as there's been slow dancing, there's been slow high.
After all these years,
Doesn't this feel a little bit like a ketchup-based ghost? Like he came in to like get behind her at that ketchup bottle? What's with their siblings?
The best things in life.
Oh, FDO. So you might be thinking of that like that Folgers commercial where like the sister's like, oh, I can't wait for Big Brother to show up, and they basically just make out over a cup of coffee in the like on Christmas Day, and their parents come down and they go, God damn it, not again.
You're my present this year.
Except chili and lime coated cashews. Cashews are closer to peanuts, but I'm also not a huge fan of that.
I've never changed.
I like it slow.
Of
Comic
course you
book
would think
collector
of that,
John
yeah.
Adams thinks he uses the best zipper bags and won't switch to Gladlock zipper bags.
Well, he's a dumb chud, and we're about to fucking push his face into the dirt.
I won't. But think, John, what if we took your first edition Spider-Man comic book and tossed it into this pigsty, sealed in either your bag or a Gladlock bag?
Even if the bags held integrity of the seal, they'll still step on it, rip the bag. It'll be demolished either way.
Yep.
You don't have to be this fucking classic 1991 era comic book nerd to know that. P.S. Where is he getting that suit? Is this what they thought nerds looked like? Jesus.
You see that green color chain seal there, Johnny? That
Slippery
shows you the
slope. I get it,
Gladlock bag
Rachel.
is
I get it.
closed. Your bag doesn't have a green seal.
Did I say I'd never switch?
Uh-huh.
I lied.
When it really counts. Don't get mad. Get Gladlock zipper
And they're actually going to do the thing with this comic?
bags.
This is me, Lauren Scott, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now. I've lost
You need
70...
to find that commercial break. Just go on Cornhub and type in stepbrother, stepsister, and you'll get the idea. Just imagine them holding cups of coffee, and that's the whole fucking commercial. Like she gets stuck in the percolator. She's like, "Stepbro, are you home for Christmas?" And he's like, "Folgers," right? Fucking disgusting. I can't believe they aired that shit.
UFOs land in Montana?
It goes with one hand and eats Chex-Mix with the other.
Is there anything to eat? I can't keep my hand out of this bag. It's so good.
You can keep my hand out of this bag. I can't wait for my mom to come home with her dust devil to find the mystery handfuls of Chex Mix I left her in the fucking house.
Thought Chex Mix was just for parties. Chex Mix, what do you
Well,
say?
every time you put some in your mouth, there's a party there, and they're all invited.
Aiming it for?
Say, do you like barbecue?
Funk guitar.
Fun? Well, then grab this new barbecue Chex Mix. Yeah, do it now, today,
Do
every
it
day.
now.
Hey, what are you saving it for? Chex Mix.
A party? You stupid fuck. You're never going to get invited to a party. Buy Chex Mix and eat it at home. It's the only chance you have for it.
It's your Chex Mix, and you need it now.
Check out our
Once
Muddy
you've seen the
Buddies.
pyramid, all other game
I
shows
love
look
Muddy
square.
Buddies.
Oh, there you go. That's the end because it looped back around, I guess. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you guys can parlay this evening into either a blossoming pizza career or trying a toaster strudel. Either one, I'm okay with. I would prefer the toaster strudel because, I mean, if you haven't yet, dear God, you must.
How do I eat Chex Mix?
How do you? What is that? Wasn't there? Oh, it's like Reese's. How do you eat your Reese's? She throws it to the ground, stomps it into a fine powder, and snorts it like cocaine.
When I used to eat Chex Mix, I separated all the different things and would eat them in the way that I liked to eat them.
Hey.
Those dark brown circle, like the pumpernickel bread ones, were always
Those got flicked, man.
well.
Oh.
They were always the first ones I ate because I liked them the least.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I'm going to try it next week. Yeah, report back. I would like, I haven't had one in probably 25 years, but I still feel it in my mind's mouth.
I like Pop-Tarts
is-
better.
How? I don't understand.
Because I didn't like.
You're a fucking crazy person. It's like,
I didn't
what do you
like the
better, a
flakiness of
Ritz
all the
cracker
shit.
Or like a fucking world-class wedding cake. Sure, they're both baked goods. It's like, well, what do you like? Would you like a deep-fried horse's asshole that looks like a slice of calamari? Or a filet mignon? I'll take the fried asshole.
Everyone has homework. They're going to do homework for next week. FDO's going to eat a toaster.
He's going to eat a toaster?
Yep. He's going to try eating a toaster. He's going to report back next week.
Give it a shot. You know, I mean, the Klinger tried to eat an entire Jeep to get out of the Army. So, I mean, anything's possible. There you go. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. We'll be back in a couple. No, sorry. We're going to be back tomorrow for a special episode that I don't want to spoil as of yet, but I've got some stuff that I really enjoy and a special guest that I think you're going to enjoy. Strudel disappeared. Anyway, then we'll be back with some true crime and stuff after that. But anyway, thank you guys for showing up and enjoying this. If you did, if your back hurts now, get to Facebook as soon as possible. Find a picture of a cassette tape and a pencil and tell everybody that you know how these things work. You must do that.
I made some spaghetti, but I dropped some sauce on the floor.
Good.
This is a nightmare.
Anyway, so that's all I got for you guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the next episode and all that good stuff.
God.
Bye.
Bye.
Try to